Hey everyone, and welcome to the final episode of Sean and Evan's Lenten adventure. And I don't even know if this is part of our Lenten adventure because now you are into Holy Week. So this is the postscript or the epilogue to Evan and Sean's Lenten adventure. And if this is the very first video that you're seeing, that's okay. Still watch, still enjoy, because we're going to give you some stuff to reflect on for Holy Week and all that good stuff.
Yeah, Maine said no just as you started recording, and I'm like, that's kind of how I feel. I've really enjoyed these. I'm like, I don't want these to end.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I hope people have enjoyed watching these as much as we have enjoyed making these.
Like doing these prayer methods, it's been super instructive for me. I don't know. It's been, I don't get stuck, and I don't feel like I've already learned this one or something like that. Like every week is a new thing. So going forward into next Lent and other kind of times where I like what you said last week, intentionality. That's so good. That was really cool for me.
Thank you. Yeah, I have to agree. Like I enjoy it being guided. I think so in my talks with Christians just during the week, they're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And it's like, yeah, some people do. So let's follow their lead and follow their guide and follow. So yeah, I also like, the guided Lent where it's like, okay, what's on par for this week it was awesome. It was a great way to do it.
Yeah. What do you feel like for Holy Week for you? What's that meant for you in the past?
Like we didn't do anything growing up beyond just Good Friday and Easter. So the whole concept of Holy Week isn't like, it's not steeped in tradition for me, but I've actually been like trying to like overcome my American mindset and like elevate Easter over Christmas. Because I always know it's like churches do so much for Christmas, but Christmas is the beginning of the story and Easter is the culmination of the story. So I've been trying to like get my heart and my mind in there. So I would say, yeah, I'm not doing a good job at it, but I think Holy Week is just that, is preparing and getting excited for Easter. I mean, think of probably the buzz that the disciples were feeling after like Palm Sunday. Like it was probably electric in the air in Jerusalem. Right. So I'm trying to like, I don't know how, I don't know what it looks like, but trying to like bring that electricity into my week building for Easter.
Yeah. And yeah, I think about Holy Week as like the most important week that ever happened.
Yeah.
More than like the playoffs or something, like Jesus was living in, 7 24-hour, periods, the same amount of time that I lived through today. And so much happened that was so important in that time period. And yeah, in recent years, I've just been thinking like, how do I kind of live in those times, those like days more, to feel them like they happened.
How would you finish this Lenten adventure? I have a couple thoughts, but I want to know what your couple thoughts are.
I think, okay, somebody said this, and I hope it makes sense to everyone who's listening. It's not a hope you had to be there kind of thing, but I think to end our Lenten adventure is to talk about Easter.
Yes,
and all that Easter means. And so I think it was Dr. Black from Eastern who gave this chapel. And I think it was about Easter and Lent and ending Lent with Easter. And he talked about at Easter, right? Not just at Easter, but for like days and weeks after, like, have ice cream for breakfast. Like it's a real celebration.
Yeah.
You should be feeling how sweet and good the resurrection is after a time of like depriving yourself. And I don't know. Some people are like, I gave up cussing. Does that mean I get to say whatever I want? Like, maybe not. Stick to ice cream, maybe.
Yeah.
But you should feel Easter in your bones, like the celebration.
Okay.
Yeah.
I really like that. Well, your takeaway point's better than mine. I was gonna say the thing I think I've gotten from Lent, and now also I want to push it into Easter, is I don't think Christianity can be done alone.
Mhm.
And sometimes I think I'm the lone voice because people are like, hey, with this pandemic, look, churches have been able to go online and all that stuff, and that's great. And I fully support online church. We're filming for an online church thing.
Yeah.
But like, you have to talk with another human being about your faith in some capacity.
Yeah.
And like that, again, I think I've seen the most growth in myself through this time of Lent, because I'm getting on here, I'm talking to you, I'm getting on here and essentially talking to the church. Like, I have taken something that's normally super private, which is Lent, and made it a public thing. And I think that that's what you need. Like, we think of faith as so private, and it's like, let's take our faith and make it public. And that doesn't mean you have to like be out on the street with a bullhorn, like preaching at people. But I think it needs to, like, what is it? You don't light a candle and stick it under a bowl the way Jesus talks. Like,
Right.
it's taking it out. And I think it's just talking, just like normalizing your faith and talking to people about it. So that's really the big takeaway. It's like, man, it's like kind of reflecting. It's like, why am I like growing so much in this? And it's like, oh, I'm actually talking about it. You talk about things that are important to you.
Yeah.
So I see it elevate in my mind as I talk about it more. So that's the thing I want to give to people, whether you followed us with Lent or you stuck the whole way or anything. It's like, take your Christianity outside of yourself and just with people around you. And I think that was Easter. I mean, Jesus was this movement, and then he came into Jerusalem, and it all of a sudden became a citywide thing as they had this huge party. And then you're right, there's this crazy week, and then Jesus like has this Last Supper where he tries to get away, but he's not alone. He's still like with his homies and everything. So, and then the cross was so public, like they took him to a public place and put him on a hill. Like, I think it's just very open and communal.
Yeah.
Like, what I've been trying to do with my Easter.
Yeah. And gosh, the call for a Christian to be public with their faith, I mean, that's from the very beginning, you know.
Yeah.
From you know, Mary and the women at the tomb, who had to go back and tell the guys, like,
seriously,
you guys might not believe this, but it's legit.
But I think we just get it so convoluted. Like, we actually talked about this at youth group like 3 Sundays ago, you know, why nobody wants to pass out tracts on the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, I get it. Like, I don't do that either. But like, taking your faith public can just literally be talking about it, even if it's just with another believer, you know, like in an iron sharpens iron. Yeah, I think, I've just been thinking about that. We're like, it can't all be in here. It's got to be outward.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that's been most compelling for me is seeing what God's been teaching you, you know, and hearing from others what God's been teaching them. Mm-hmm. And it's not the same thing, you know?
Yes.
It's not like God has one lesson for the day for everybody.
Yeah.
And if you don't get it, you don't get it. It's like God is teaching you and leading you in something that is really personal for you, but also for your community. And so I think everybody can benefit for that.
Yeah, it's like, take that personal thing public, I guess, is kind of my thinking from Lent, you know. And when I look at in my own life, it's not even like, again, not preaching at people, but just even talking about it more in public places where I'm doing what I'd already be doing, you know.
Yeah.
So
let's just say have an amazing Easter.
Yeah, have a good Easter. Well, thank you everybody for watching and for joining us, and have a good Easter.